నమస్కారం. డాక్టర్ రాజేశ్వరరావు, కుటుంబ సభ్యులందరికీ నమస్కారం. While endorsing what Sneha said all about Chandrasekhar garu and also by Ravi and also director, many other traits are there in him. ఎప్పుడు నేను 2002లో ఈ సంస్థలో జాయిన్ అయ్యాను. అప్పటి నుండి ఇప్పటి వరకు ఈ రోజు కూడా చూస్తున్నాను చంద్రశేఖర్ గారి గురించి. బేసికలీ ఈజ్ అ వెరీ కామన్ క్వైట్ పర్సన్ అండ్ అఫ్కోర్స్ ఇండస్ట్రియస్, తర్వాత డెడికేటెడ్ అండ్ పంక్చువల్, వెరీ పంక్చువల్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఇన్ కమింగ్ టు ఆఫీస్ బట్ ఆల్సో అటెండింగ్ ఎనీ తడతి. ఈ టోల్డ్ డైరెక్టర్ ఇట్లా 100 మంది కన్నా 100 పిలుస్తుంటారండి. దట్ ఈస్ ట్రూ. ఇంకా ఈజ్ ఇన్ సచ్ ఎ యూనిట్ వేర్ ఎవ్రీ వన్ వాంట్స్ ఈజ్ సర్వీసెస్, IT services. You know, nowadays IT services, how much important it is in an organization like this. అలాగే అంటే ఈజ్ ఎ కంటిన్యూస్ లర్నర్ యాజ్ సెడ్ బై రవి, ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ ఈ IT ఫీల్డ్ అనేది ఎప్పుడూ అప్డేట్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉండాలి. ఆ విధంగా మీ ఒరిజినల్ డిగ్రీతో పాటు వేరే డిగ్రీ తీసుకున్న ఇది కూడా యూజ్ టు అప్డేట్. దట్ వే వాజ్ రియలీ ఇండస్ట్రియస్ అండ్ అఫ్కోర్స్ used to attend on a call simply within 5 minutes. That's really was wonderful. And particularly not only in this particular AKMU and various services, but many his good qualities are there. He's a very friendly person and very he used to coordinate among his own friends for any activity like cultural activity, any other sports or many other activities whenever he was there. And that was also a good trait in an organization. Such persons are very important. That way you did a lot of cooperation and help everybody. And of course we always remember when there is a Vanabhojanam, how we used to coordinate all the cultural activities, mukhyanga tambola gaani, many other activities. Really we miss that whenever we attend Vanabhojanam. If gurtuntaru అదే కాకుండా ఎనీ అదర్ అకేషన్ మీటింగ్స్ ఆర్ ఎనీథింగ్, ఎనీ పర్టికులర్లీ వర్క్షాప్స్ మీటింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్ దట్, యూ వర్ సో ఎర్లీ టు ది such kind of activities and used to coordinate in the halls and all with the IT team and the TOT people. That was really good because there are all the preparatory things which one cannot really miss. Input ఏంటంటే what Ravi said, any person who is leaving the organization will leave some imprints. ఆ విధంగా ఈ కొత్త వెబ్సైట్ మీరు ఇప్పుడు పోస్ట్ చేశారు కదా, అది ఎప్పుడు మాకు మీరు గుర్తుండిపోతుంది. ఆ విధంగా యు ఆర్ ఆల్వేస్ విత్ అస్. వెనెవర్ యూ ఓపెన్ ద వెబ్సైట్ యు ఆర్ దేర్, యూ కెన్ రిమెంబర్ యువర్ సర్వీసెస్. దట్ వే వీఆర్ రియలీ హ్యాపీ అండ్ గ్రేట్ఫుల్ టు యూ ఫర్ యువర్ వాల్యుబుల్ సర్వీసెస్. ముఖ్యంగా ఈరోజు ఈ మీ ఫంక్షన్కి మన రిటైర్డ్ అయిన 10,000 చెందిన మన కొలీగ్స్ కూడా వచ్చారు. లక్ష్మణ్ గారు, గిరిజయ్ గారు, రామ్మోహన్ గారు, మెనీ అదర్. సో మీ అందరికి కూడా థ్యాంక్స్. ఎందుకంటే ఈ అకేషన్ ఇట్స్ అన్ హ్యాపీ అకేషన్ బేసికలీ. దట్స్ వై నాట్ టు వరీ అబౌట్ దట్. ఎవ్రీబడి హ్యాస్ టు రిటైర్ వన్ డే, బట్ రిటైరింగ్ హ్యాపీలీ with children well settled is really a great thing. God's gift to a person who has done a wonderful job and any selfless job. So that way Sai Krishna and Vijay Krishna Gani, they are really well settled and hope that we will enjoy the rest of the life with them, your grandchildren and family, and we pray for all your health, peace, prosperity. Madam garu, now we can ఎక్కువ టైం you can spend together. Have a wonderful time. Thank you so much and thank you very much.
And good afternoon to one and all. In-charge Director Dr. G. Rajeshwar, today's chief guest Dr. Chandrasekhar and Madam Chandrasekhar, Dr. Nagarjuna Kumar, my senior colleagues, friends and the family members of Chandrasekhar who are gathered in large numbers. Good afternoon and namaskar to one and all. At the outset, on behalf of the PME SEB and on my personal behalf, I congratulate Sri Chandrasekhar for declaring his innings. So as you know, every government employee has to declare his innings. Today he has declared his first innings and tomorrow onwards he will be starting his second innings. So I wish him all the best for his second innings, and I sincerely hope that his second innings will be as green and as prosperous and as healthy as the first one. Chandrasekhar, all the best. And now coming to his virtues, I think after Sneha eloquently describing his qualities, I don't think I can find better words to describe him. But I have seen Chandrasekhar for the past 22 years. What I seen him in is what he was very punctual. Never I saw him coming late to the office. At 9:30 at that time, when the institute used to start at 9:30, he used to be there at 9:30 because we used to stay in the same floor just adjacent to each other. I used to observe he never in a day he was late to this one. He was hardworking. And one more thing I observed in his thought, he was highly responsible. Whatever we used to tell him, he used to do it. That was one of the best quality I observed in him, and very sincere. As a PMP, we used to depend a lot of him, a lot from Chandrasekhar. But why I'm telling is that we used to send some things which are more than 25 MB, which our email is not to support. So at that condition, I used to depend upon Chandrasekhar to send the information to the council. In that way, he has helped me a lot in our PNS activities. Whenever I called him, he has never failed. Let me give you an example. Just 2 days back, we organized an International Day of Yoga. He was there at 6:45 in the morning. A person who is retiring the next week, it's very highly, very appreciative of him to be there at 6:45 in the morning. Chandrasekhar, thank you very much for your concern which you had for the institute. I also understand from the biodata that you are given 37 years of your life to this organization. As an employee of this organization, Chandrasekhar, thank you very much. Another thing I don't know, many of you don't know, Chandrasekhar is a very good chess player and a carom one. When I used to be the sports in charge, he used to help me a lot in conducting the chess as well as the carom tournaments. Not only here, he is famous in the entire South Indian institutes. Generally, the sports tournament are carried out in inter-institute basis. He is very famous in all the 45 institutes. He was the person who used to conduct the chess and the carom tournaments for the entire South region, and I know he was very wonderful, a known person in the South Zone tournaments. Coming to his personal life, Chandrasekhar, in my opinion, you are the most contented person. Why I say is that, see, they say that a parent is happy when all your sons or daughters are well settled. I understand from the biodata that is that your sons and daughters are well settled. I think that is the greatest satisfaction one person has. I think God has given you that good quality, and I hope you will cherish your life. And I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to share some of my thoughts with you. Thank you very much, Chandrasekhar. May God bless you and have a peaceful and more greener and more prosperous second innings. I'm not telling retired life, I'm using the word second innings. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Dr. Rajeshwara Garu and today's chief guest Chandrasekhar and Mrs. Chandrasekhar and Dr. Nagarjun Kumar and my colleagues. I was just recollecting because 30th June he is retiring. Yesterday, day before yesterday only we were discussing, because I joined this institute in 1992. So that time computers were very new to us. Actually, I never underwent any training to use the computers. But the day we joined, that time there were Harvard graphics and WordStar. So he is my first guru. He taught me. Actually, I learned whatever computers now I am using till today. Whatever doubt I have, I used to refer. So he is the person actually having lot of patience and ever smiling face. I think I hardly saw him irritated, because as our director was saying that he has to cater all the people irrespective of the cadre, from the director to the lower staff. So with the same patience, with the same tempo, he used to come and help the people. So actually when Dr. Katyal was the director, that time our group, I think I mentioned in the day before yesterday meeting also, we were the new S1s joined, fresh. Earlier they were just putting the graphs and graph paper and taking the or sheets and presenting. We are the first people, because of Mr. Chandrasekhar, made Harvard graphics graphs and presented in IRC. It was very like, emotionally we felt very great because we enjoyed, we learned, and of course that time Dr. Usman sir was doing his PhD work. He also used to help us. So they both used to be, because the old directors conference room was for the stenographers for WordStar, and the other ante room for the director is the for the analysis part. So there are only 2 computer rooms. So we all used to go there and learn all these things. So I was just remembering. So I think we are the people who are missing actually. We grow with your support. I am indebted to you, Mr. Chandrasekhar. So really, actually, and again, when Dr. H.V. Singh sir was the director, he revived the cultural club. So that before that there is no cultural activities. So I was joint secretary. He was also, I think, cultural secretary. So we worked together and organized many things for different occasions. He is a very silent, dedicated worker. So if Mr. Chandrasekhar is there, we are assured that the program will go very smoothly. I think the people who joined recently, you may not be knowing that Mr. Chandrasekhar is doing, because he never want to come front. That also I observed. No halla gulla. Coolly he will work and he'll see that it will go very smoothly. In that way, I really admire you. Actually, I hope this definitely, we may be missing you a lot. CRIDA is missing, and the other thing is there is no substitute was identified. That is also a big gap for CRIDA people. That is also, we are feeling bad. Anyway, the new, I think, entrants who are well versed with computers, but still, I think you need support, people like Mr. Chandrasekhar. On my behalf and behalf of DCS division, I wish you a happy and healthy retired life. Thank you.
I think still in this institute. We joined in 92 May. Someone not marked here to tell here, but most of us joined here in 92 May. At that time, as you said, we talked from other topics. Posts are one perfect to know what they are using. Lot of struggle, but what he did first actually invisible. Usually, one thing he was actually must be appreciated is that he used to teach us patience, but our previous generation, they are not so coming forward to learn computers, and they were heavily depending on him. So whenever he was contacting him, we used to say, teach us so that we don't depend on you. Those words actually we used to take very positively and we used to be very happy. Your generation is the one actually you are reducing my workload, because the previous generation was not so keen on learning. Natural at that point of view, computers not so user friendly. Some still there used to be some sophistication. You have to reach Apple outside. That kind of things used to be there, and not everybody was willing to learn computers. And another correction is that one of the relatives is a very close friend of mine. So before joining, before I came here, he told there is one Chandrasekhar and take his help whatever you want. He will be very helpful. And so that way also there is another connection to Chandrasekhar also with me. And since then actually Ramohan Garu, Ramohan and he was these are two pillars of computer. Actually there was a decision they were made, one should go for system administration, one should go for programming side of things. I think both of them did marvelously their job. Ramohan did very well in programming kind of things, and he was actually second to none in system administration. Because these two things are very fast evolving. IT is an industry, unless you keep yourself updated with the recent developments, you will be outdated and you will be found irrelevant actually. So both of them did very well, and they had support of Dr. Emanidi also, if I remember correctly. So he was too good actually. Some of you might have known him now, but when he was here actually, he was like anything actually. He was a pillar of strength, not only in statistics but in computers, and he was the one who actually initiated all the GAs we have worked on, GAs and other things. Minitab in statistics, Minitab. So there are so many softwares, system administration issues. As somebody, all people told, his work is very silent. He always tries to be in background. And so since something is no problem with it, but Chandrasekhar is involved in that work. So that is kind of reputation he has. And so many committees, whatever you organize, any event, maybe conference, national Farmers Day or Vanavojam. So I think especially his contributions in the food committee, I think the food committee chairman are here. I think they will be acknowledging refusal. I think I don't think it's very. It's not easy to replace it. Person that Chandrasekhar is. On behalf of SDA and on behalf, I wish you very well in the next phase of your life. So happy times, family times, good luck. God bless you.
Respected Rashtra Garu, today's chief guest Mrs. and Shri P. Chandrasekhar Garu, Dr. Nagarjun Kumar, and senior colleagues and friends and families of family members of Chandrasekhar Garu. First of all, I would like to congratulate him for completing more than 30 years of service. Of late, I think we see very few people who have been completing more than 30 years of service in the government. I think in the institute we could see majority of them are only from the technical side. We could see not from any of the scientific staff who have been completing. So first of all, I would like to congratulate him and for this 37 years of service in the same institute for a long period. And with regard to my association with Chandrasekhar, I joined in the institute sometime in 1997. Like all others, I was also asking for some of the help from Chandrasekhar from various different points of time. We had earlier only Aris unit, and even now also I would say that Aris is almost synonymous with Chandrasekhar. He is the one handling all these years, he is the one only, and he is the constant man in the Aris. In charges have been changing and all that, but he is the one handling this one. And he used to be helping everybody. I had greater interaction with him when I have taken over as YSC Aris in 2005 or so. So I had closely worked with him with about 6 to 7 years. At that time, today we may be getting 1 GB speed and all that, but at that point of time we used to have few MBs of speed. And the internet facilities also in the institute were very limited to very few people, heads of the divisions, few section heads and limited number. So during 2005, I think when I have taken over, at that time the director also tasked us to give the internet facility for every room in the institute, every room literally. So at that time it was a big task. Today it might appear to be a very small one compared to that, but at that time not many institutes are having, even in ICAR also in Hyderabad or even Delhi also, not many of them are having the full-fledged internet facility for every room. Because it gives, once we give the facility, we have to give the access also. But when we have a limited amount of speed, we cannot also do that. So there were not many restrictions that we put in. So we had put in firewalls. So many things have been brought in at that point of time. And I think two people, as Sierra Mara said, Chandrasekhar and Ramohan, these two people were helping me in that. And I would say here, Chandrasekhar is a little bit initially conservative in nature, but once we convince him what is the need for it, he would go at full throttle. And he implemented, he had this full entire CRIDA campus. Of course, at that time the new building was not there. Entire building, we had internet facility for every room and even some sort of contingency measures also for if there is any breakdown also, at least some of the big units like data bank, director cell, etc. should have uninterrupted facility of power, even if there is no power at all, also with high-end systems. So that was the one which has been successfully completed, even for the guest house also. That was the first time we had, even at the farm also we had the KVK and the HR, both were there. At that time you remember, even now also the phone connectivity in farm is a bit sort of difficult, but at that time we had this connectivity and brought with the BSNL and we had these networking systems established. And I think I should say that the entire credit goes to Chandrasekhar. I was only in charge basically. So I used to tell him, any in charge will come and go. But it is you are responsible for the arrest and people would remember your name. And he used to do that even though after with the promotion in the NATP, even though he was promoted to in the NATP program, but still he used to handle this and all the data programming as mentioned by Dr. Ramon Garu used to do that. So in a way these two people were a backbone for the entire institute in terms of systems administration as well as in terms of programming support, and it still continues to be. I think Chandrasekhar, really thank you very much for all the support you have given me during that period and subsequent also I see. And especially as mentioned, whenever we have the other programs, especially the food, whenever there is a functions etc., we used to have food being arranged at different places. So we used to give responsibility to Chandrasekhar for managing the senior level functionaries wherever they are sitting. So he used to ensure that it goes very smoothly. He doesn't allow anybody to come inside other than those who are entitled into that. Without anything, he would used to say people may feel some sort of inconvenient, but he used to ensure that because it is meant for certain senior dignitaries, so it has to be for them, and he used to ensure that. So for that, we used to put it responsible, and he used to ensure that. Thank you very much, Chandrasekhar, for all the activities in other cultural programs, etc. Really will be missing you. Thank you very much, and I wish you a happy retired life. Thank you.
Dr. Rajeswara garu, today's chief guests, Mr. and Mrs. Chandrasekhar garu, Nagarjuna garu, and Chandrasekhar family members, or CRIDA family members. Today is the day Chandrasekhar he is retiring, but during 1994 I joined this institute. As whoever comes and goes, if computer work is there, how I can say is, suppose if something is there, Govinda, Govinda, what you say, just like that, if some computer problem is there, Chandrasekhar, Chandrasekhar, we used to call him that. So he was the pillar